You are listening to Productivity Straight Talk with your host, Amber De La Garza. Amber is a sought-after productivity coach, trainer, speaker, and writer who gives entrepreneurs the straight talk on personal productivity. No BS, fluff, or overused jargon. Just actionable strategies to get results and succeed in business. And here is your host, Amber De La Garza, the Productivity Specialist.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to Productivity Straight Talk. Today's episode 164, 10 time leaks you'll want to eliminate. If you're a business owner who wants to improve your time management and elevate your productivity so you can maximize profits, reduce stress, and make time for what matters most, then you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you've joined me. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 ways you're losing time so you can plug up those leaks and have more time for what matters most in your business and life. Now, before we jump in, I want to share with you that I just released my brand new Time Management Made Simple program. It's a 4-module, on-demand video training program that will teach you my proven step-by-step time management system for small business owners to move you from stressed out and overwhelmed to fully in control and fulfilled. I want to personally invite you to hop on over to check out my Time Management Made Simple program. Just go to amberdelagarza.com/time made simple. Again, that's Amber De La Garza, DELAGARZA.com/time made simple. And now let's get to the straight talk. All right, we are going to jump into the 10 ways you're losing time. Now, these may seem simple, but I'm going to tell you that each one of these add up to big time wasters. So I want you to approach this episode as sort of an audit of where you may be losing out on time. And I am going to go over 10 of them. And for you, maybe you have 2 really big leak areas. I want you to focus on those 2 areas and stop the leaks, and then come back and listen to this episode again and pick 1 or 2 more. By no means am I inviting you to try and attack and go through fixing all the time leaks at once, because what happens is that becomes so overwhelming that oftentimes we freeze and then we do not make the progress that we intended to make. As we move through these, I want you to listen to all 10 and ask yourself, where can I make the biggest impact by stopping the leak in that area? And then compoundedly come back and fill up any other leaks that you may be observing with your time. Number 1 time leak is not using a task list. Now, not using a task list actually creates a lot of time wasting because it's really, really important that you can see in one place all that it is that you need to do. It's only then that you can get it out of your head, that it stops swirling, and that you do not default to doing the thing that is screaming at you or the thing that you're thinking of in the moment because you say something like, well, if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? If I don't do it now, I'm going to forget to do it. And by not using a task list, we really set ourselves up to reactively move through the day like a ping pong ball. So I highly, highly recommend to reclaim time is to use a task list, one task list consistently. Number 2, not planning your day. Now, I just alluded to this in the previous one, but man, if you do not plan the day, you become a victim to whatever is happening, and you become completely reactive. And when we don't have a plan, we kind of feel as though we're just flailing through the day. When we are proactive and plan out our day, we can actually maximize and optimize pockets of time that would otherwise be wasted away because we didn't have a plan. Also, by having a plan, you are making a choice with where you're going to be investing your time. Now, do plans go as planned all the time? Absolutely not. But by making a plan each and every day, you're more and more likely to follow that plan than just haphazardly moving through your day. Number 3, not batching. Man, the power of batching is so incredible. When you batch like activities and tasks together, you're actually creating a lot of efficiency. So if you can think of batching like tasks, maybe it's your phone calls or checking or processing, we'll get to that in a little bit, your emails instead of doing it haphazardly throughout the day. I would also say that when you batch appointments, the energy that it takes to interact with others is different than doing focused, quiet solo work. I would say batching employee meetings, team meetings is a great idea as well. You could batch client appointments. Honestly, it's endless. So when you look at your schedule and what you do on a regular basis, I would ask yourself, how can you batch it within the same day or the same afternoon or even the same week? I've had people that say that they like to take X type of appointments one week and then another type of appointment the next week, meaning it is different energy that's required. And so you're able to conserve your energy and focus because you're into that routine of batching. All right, number 4, stop multitasking. Man, are the statistics, stats, and research out on that there is no winning when we try to multitask. However, it seems to be our default when we find ourselves overwhelmed and in times of stress. And I'm going to encourage you to become much more aware of when you are tempted or in the midst of multitasking. Multitasking actually creates a lot more errors, and therefore you have to go back and repeat your work. Multitasking also encourages you to slow down and relook at where you left off from one thing to the next. Or maybe you thought you finished a task, but it didn't get done, and now there's repercussions you have to clean up from there. Each of the tasks and activities and people in our lives really do require our focused attention. And that's just not possible when we default to multitasking. Being tempted to multitask is actually a time leak that I would encourage you to continue working at and observing and making a different choice. I don't know that it is 100% possible to say, I'm never going to multitask again. And so what I love to think about when I think about multitasking is being much more observant. I know that even though I teach on this, and I've read books and stats and studies all about multitasking, so by no means do I not know and intellectually understand the cost to multitasking, I am still tempted at times to multitask. So here's a little tip. I actually can tune in to me defaulting to multitasking when I'm sitting at my desk and I feel anxiety or I feel a bit overwhelmed. I feel anxious, okay? So I'm really tuning into the way that I'm feeling. If I pause and look, almost 100% of the time, it's brought on because I'm trying to multitask. Now, I've done complete episodes about multitasking, and we will link to those in the show notes. But I do want to share with you the fact that when you're multitasking and you realize that you can in fact choose differently. And so once you become quicker and quicker at observing that you defaulted to multitasking, I want you to take a step back and choose. Now, this is where it seems to be more difficult for people. The reason we default to multitasking is because we do not want to make the decision of what is the highest priority. Because at that point, we are forced to pick the one thing that gets our time, energy, and attention. And I will encourage you every time to be better and better at really being able to be decisive in what the priorities are for your time, energy, and attention. And then it becomes an exercise and a skill set of being able to make those decisions rapidly throughout the day. What is the next thing, task, project, person, activity that deserves your focus, time, energy, and attention. Next, number 5, skipping breaks. I bet you're like, what? How is that a time leak? Well, here's the deal. When we are not rejuvenated and rested, we will make more errors and mistakes. We also have more difficulty with being decisive. So if you are avoiding breaks and you are not investing in yourself, you will, by result, be wasting time. What does this look like? Here's a great example for this. Let's say that you, by default, do not take lunch breaks, you do not step away from your desk, and you are just working through your day. At some point, your body and your mind is going to crave a break. And so this is when we allow more and more distractions into our world. This could look like you're working away, you haven't taken a break, you need a mental break away from the activity or computer. And so you go in and you check social media on your phone, or you scroll the internet, or you research something and you go down a rabbit hole. This is because we're craving that break. We're not giving ourselves permission to have a productive break, like fueling our body, eating good food, stretching. And so then now we're doing it reactively on things that don't really matter to us. One way or another, mentally and physically, we are going to take breaks. I would encourage you to purposely take a break, schedule it in and make it a priority so that when you come back to your work, you are that much more focused and energized. Next, saying yes and overcommitting to everything. This is a huge time leak because what that means is you're not being very decisive in the things you say yes to and the things you say no to. And so if you currently feel as though you are overcommitted because you're saying yes to everyone and everything and every opportunity, this is a huge time leak. I would encourage you to evaluate what you are saying yes to through your personal vision of success, your personal goals. What is it that matters most to you? Because you cannot be everywhere and be everything to everybody. And so by default, when we do not really say yes to the things we want to say yes to and no to the things we want to say no to, we are not setting ourselves up for success to really show up our best. This is a great opportunity to reclaim a lot of time. I love this because we can actually say no to things we've already said yes to. So look at the things that you're doing regularly. And if they no longer serve you, your vision of success, or your goals, I am inviting you to say no and to reclaim that time. Next, number 7, trying to do everything yourself. Now, as a business owner, we often think we're the best person to do all the things, right? And I'm here to tell you that if you are chasing big dreams, if you're looking to serve your clients at the highest level, you cannot think that you can do it all yourself. I truly believe that it takes a team for us to show up in our best zone of genius. Now, each of you had decided to start a business because there was something that you were particularly good at, skilled at, passionate about. And then you said yes to being a business owner. And chances are, it doesn't also mean you are the best administrator in your business, or the best marketer in your business, or the best accountant in your business, right? As our business grows, I want you to keep asking yourself, what is it that you can ask for help? How can you outsource either to an independent contractor, to another business owner, to an employee in your business? I want you to really consider how valuable your time is. And how big are your goals? Can you reach your goals when you're doing $20 an hour work? My guess is no. And so I would tell you that this is a huge time leak that you will continually be closing the gap on. And the reason is that as your business grows, your needs are always evolving and changing. So this is one of those areas that I think can be regularly looked at on a quarterly basis and asking yourself, where can I ask for additional help? Now, for those of you that have listened to this podcast for some time, you know that I'm a big believer that we can ask for help both in our business and our personal life. As our businesses require and demand more from us, sometimes we can reclaim time from asking for help within our home. Whether that's having someone come to your house and clean your car so you get your Saturday mornings back, or having a house cleaner, or asking for help on tutoring your children. I mean, honestly, the list is endless. I want you to get so creative with where you can ask for help to reclaim time. Now, this reclaimed time isn't just to reinvest back into the business. Maybe you're going to reclaim time so that you can have a slow, relaxing Saturday so that you're recharging and taking the break that you need to show up your best during the week at work. Are you getting that how these time leaks actually all sort of connect with each other? I hope you are. Number 8, you are checking your emails all day, every day, at odd hours, and not processing your emails, thus batching your emails. I have a masterclass specifically around how to conquer your email. And in there, I teach you the step-by-step process of processing your emails, and I call it my email protocol. I teach you specifically how to no longer be a slave to your inbox, to really have a time and place and feel as though you can get real work done that isn't just in your inbox. Your business absolutely needs you to show up in your highest value activities, and that is by no means going to happen when you keep prioritizing being in and out of your inbox all day. So if you are interested, I would love for you to go out and check out my masterclass. You can do that by going to amberdelagarza.com/conquer your email. Again, that's amberdelagarza.com/conquer your email. Or you can find that on my website under training at amberdelagarza.com. Number 9, you are not setting boundaries. Ooh-wee. Okay, so listen to this. Boundaries can look like how other people are imposing on your time, your energy, and your attention. This could be boundaries that you set with yourself about when you're working and when you're not working. This is a huge time leak that I love to focus on. Setting boundaries with people and setting boundaries with ourselves and setting boundaries around where we are investing our time. There is something called Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law states that tasks expand to the amount of time given. And when we do not set boundaries, this is when our work feels like it fills every waking hour that we have. And it's not just our work. It could be a particular project or a task. Without boundaries of putting a time frame on it, whether it's a specific time or a date, that's when they just expand and they get bigger and bigger and consume all of your energy and time. So I would love to invite you to practice putting boundaries on the time that you work in your business, boundaries around the time that you dedicate to specific activities and projects and tasks. And I guarantee that you are going to see an improvement of being able to reclaim time. Number 10 is allowing distractions, interruptions. This is really one of those foundational areas that we can really make improvements upon when we become more aware of it. Now, Right now, during the pandemic of 2020, I believe that this is more important than ever because many of us have been shaken up with what our work environment looks like, with whom is still at home, our little ones, our kids. Distractions and interruptions come from so many different places. So let's just touch on a few. The first place that I would encourage you to look at is what are the chimes, rings, and dings that you have normalized. These are little pesky notifications that you think are not a big deal, but they are. In fact, these chimes, rings, and dings, their one sole job is to break your focus and attention so that you can see the notification. Now, these are going to come from obvious things like apps on your phone and social media, text messages and voicemails and updates on your phone. This can come from emails that are chiming on your desktop, on your computer. I want you to pause for a day and become hyper aware of what all these chimes, rings, and dings are for that are grabbing your attention. And shut them off if they are not necessary. Now, we have completely normalized this and we don't think it has a big impact, but it's kind of like when you put a sticky note on your desks because you don't want to forget the thing, and then you work at your desk over and over and over again, and you're like, I never saw that, even though it was right in front of you, because you've normalized it. It became part of your normal view on your desk or your monitor. This is the same thing for your chimes, rings, and dings. They become so normal that you think that you're tuning them out, but they're having the same effect of breaking your focus and concentration. So for one day, I want you to observe every chime, ring, and ding and ask yourself, is it absolutely required? Now, in addition to this, I am not a proponent of, turning off your ringer, turning off your text messages, because that is how the world is most likely communicating with you. But I would encourage you to get really clear about how easily you can silence those things when you're choosing to do your most focused work. That could be for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 hour. It's the same as if you went into a meeting. If you went into a meeting with an important client, I am certain that you will have figured out how to not let your phone ring and your text messages go off because you want to give that client your full attention. So even if you're easing into this, perhaps you're going to have those same rules for yourself when you're doing your most focused work. And then you're done with the work, you did it incredibly effective and efficiently, and then you turn on your phone and your text messages. All right, now that is a great idea of distractions, of how to really reclaim that time and attention, but how about interruptions? Now, as many of you know from previous episodes, my boys have been home for 4 or 5 months, right? My son's not going to school. My husband's home from work. And so my home has many, many more interruptions, meaning my home office, than ever before. And so this is also about creating those boundaries because we cannot control other people. Like even my son, I cannot control him. I can tell him that I do not want him interrupting me, but he just wants to show me the next cool thing that he made with Legos. But what I can do is control how I make myself available to others by reminding them when I'm not available, by shutting my door, by really clearly communicating because I am prioritizing when I can be interrupted and when I can't. And I would encourage you to do the same thing to reclaim time and to plug those time leaks that compoundedly are literally stealing your time. Okay, so let's recap the 10 time leaks you will want to eliminate. Number 1, not using a task list. Number 2, not planning your day. Number 3, not batching your tasks and activities and appointments. Number 4 is multitasking. Number 5 is skipping your breaks. Number 6 is saying yes and overcommitting yourself. Number 7, trying to do everything all by yourself. Number 8 is checking your emails all the time, prioritizing being in your inbox over doing real work. Number 9 is not setting boundaries with others and yourself. And number 10 is allowing distractions and interruptions to sabotage your focused work time. I have loved having you listen to Productivity Straight Talk, and I sure hope you have found this episode to be valuable. No change, no change. Without taking action, nothing will change for you or your business. So this is the opportunity that if you were shaking your head like, yes, I'm always in my inbox, or yes, like I'm working from home more now and I'm just haphazardly letting interruptions and distractions take over my day. If you are shaking your head yes to any of these areas, again, I want you to choose 1 or 2 that you are going to focus on over the next week. And then do yourself a favor and re-listen to this episode and choose 1 or 2 more that you want to focus on and create new habits and behaviors with. And now I just want to remind you that if you want access to my 4-module on-demand video training program that I teach you my proven step-by-step time management systems, then I want you to head on over and take a look at it to see if the program is a fit for you. Go to amberdelagarza.com/time made simple. So that's my straight talk for you today. Until next time, have a productive week.